Hi, and welcome to this video. This video is a continuation of the previous topic, variables and data types, in which we will take a closer look at strings. Now, let's quickly recall all that we know about strings so far. We know that text in Python is written in terms of string literals. These string literals can be specified using single or double quotation marks, such as in these examples. We know that multi-line strings are specified using triple quotation marks. This can be done with the help of 3 single quotation marks like in this example, or with the help of 3 double quotation marks like in this example. We also know from a previous video that unassigned multi-line strings act as multi-line comments in Python, which means that unassigned multi-line strings, which means that this example, which is not assigned to a specific variable, will act as a non-executable statement in your code, or it will act simply as a multi-line comment. Now, let's look into how we can access specific characters within strings. Python strings are arrays of bite-sized characters, and we can access these specific characters using box brackets. All characters in Python are indexed from 0 to n, where the value of n is nothing but the length of the string minus 1. Let's take an example. Here we have a string which stores the value word. Now, if I want to access the third character, which is r, I will pass the value 2 in the box brackets following the name of the variable, because we know that the indexing has started from 0. So, the index of the third character, which is r, will be 2. Let's print it and we'll get the value r. Now, in Python, there is no separate data type to store characters. Hence, a single byte string will act as a character. Now, what if we want to access a range of characters from strings and not specific characters? Here is where slicing of strings will come in handy. What is slicing? Slicing of strings is used to extract a range of characters from an existing string. This is done with the following syntax. We pass the two index values, which is the starting index and the ending index of the range of characters that we want to extract, and these two values are separated with a colon. Mind you that this will extract the string characters from the starting index to the ending index minus 1 value. For example, here is a string. I am a string. If we want to slice it from the value 2 to 6, it will extract string characters from the positions 2 to 5. So, the output is like this. Now, we can also extract a range of characters from the string from the ending of the string. To do this, we will have to use negative indexes. Here is an example. Now, this is the example string, and if I want to slice it from the value minus 5 to minus 1, you have to keep in mind that in this case, the counting will be done from the end of the string, which means that in this word negative, the ending e will be the first position character. So the output will be this. Now, let us take a look at the list of inbuilt methods that are available with strings in Python. What are inbuilt methods? Methods are simply functions or functionalities, which means they allow us to do certain operations upon strings. The len method is used to return the length of the string variable that we pass into it. Let's take a look at an example. Here is a word apple. If I print the len of the word, which is the variable word, I'll get an output of 5 because there are 5 letters in the word apple. The method upper is used to convert the entire string into uppercase characters, and return the converted string. Let's take a look at an example. Here we have a word banana. Now, if I print word.upper, I'll get an output with all characters in uppercase. The method lower is used to convert the entire string into lowercase characters and return the converted string. For example, I have a word orange. Now, if I print dot lower of this word, I'll get orange with all characters in lowercase. The replace method is used when I want to replace a specific character which already exists in the string with a character that I desire. Let's take an example. We have a string hello world. Now I want to replace the W in the world with a capital V. So I'll pass it in this syntax, and if I print S now, I'll get hello world in which the W has been replaced with a capital V. Now there is a long list of inbuilt methods which come in with strings in Python. If you want to take a look at those, feel free to go and check out this link, which will take you to the official documentation of Python. Now let's take a look at concatenation of strings. What is concatenation? Concatenation is simply combining of two or more strings. This is done with the help of the plus operator. For example, here I have two strings, good and morning. Now, what happens if I print S1 plus S2? The output would be good morning, and as you can see that the two string variables have been combined. Now, if I want to print a space in between these two words, I can do so by simply concatenating a blank space in between these two words, such as S1 plus blank space plus S2. Now the output would be good morning with a blank space in between the two strings. You can also repeat strings using the star operator. Let's take an example. Here I have a string called hi. What happens if I print S star 3? The output would be hi 3 times. Mind you that you can only concatenate strings or values which are enclosed in quotation marks, and not strings along with numbers or values that you store in int. For example, here I have a string called hello, and here I have a variable which stores the value 5. This is an int variable. What happens if I print a plus b? I'll get an error because I cannot concatenate strings with other data types. Now, what do you do if you want to include int values within strings? You can do so with the help of formatting strings. What is formatting? The format method formats the values we pass to it by inserting them in the placeholders, which are demarcated by curly brackets that we use inside the string. For example, here I have two int values, day and year, and here I have a string. Now you can see that I am printing the date of birth of a person, but instead of including the numerical values, I have simply put curly brackets instead. Now I am going to print the date of birth of this person by formatting the string S with the values of day and year. It will be done so like this. You do string variable dot format and pass in the int values that you want to insert in the placeholders. So the output would be this. He was born on 6th March 1990. As you can see, the values 6 and 1990 have been inserted into the two specific placeholders that we put earlier in the string. Now, you can also index the values that you pass to the format method in order to insert the values into the correct placeholders. For example, here I have two values, 4 and 5. I want to format them into this string. So the string says there are format 1, sweets for placeholder 0, children. So if I pass kids, sweets into this, you might think that in the first placeholder the value 5 will come, and in the second placeholder the value of sweets, which is 4, will come. But the output would be there are 4 sweets for 5 children. This is because you have already specified the index of the values that you are passing into the string. And this is happening also because we know that indexing starts from 0 in Python. Now we can also check for the presence of a text segment or a string segment in an existing string. This is done with the keywords in and not in. This will return a bool value, which is true or false. For example, here I have a string called a big fat wedding, and I want to check if the text at is present inside this string. So I'll say at in S, and the output would be true. This is because at is present inside S. Now I can also check if a text segment is not present in a string. For example, if I print at not in S, I'll get the value false because at is present in S. What are escape sequences? Escape sequences allow us to insert characters within strings which would otherwise turn out to be erroneous. This is done with the help of a backslash and followed by the character that you want to insert in the string. This is done when you want to print, or you want the character that you have passed to be present when you print the string. For example, here we have a string called she calls herself a queen, and when I print this string I want the word queen to be in double quotes, and these double quotes should be visible to me. I will have to use escape sequences because otherwise this would prove to be erroneous. So I do so by using a backslash followed by the two double quotes that I want to finally print. So if I print this string, I'll get she calls herself a queen with the word queen surrounded by double quotes as I wished. Here's a list of some commonly used escape sequences. A backslash followed by a single quote will print a single quote for you within a string. A backslash followed by a backslash will print a backslash for you in the string. A backslash n will insert a new line within the string. A backslash t will insert a tab space within the string that you print. A backslash b will insert a backspace within the string that you print. So this was all for this video, and I shall see you in the next one.